And that's how it works. Hey, welcome back to Mount Pleasant Farm, and let's make some really awesome, really easy chicken run feeders. Feeders we're going to make today are very simple. They're made out of PVC. They strap to your outside of your run with some large zip ties. They're made out of just a few simple plumbing fittings. I have had these feeders in place for quite a while. Never a problem. The chickens love them, and they're really easy. You just take the lid off and put your feed in. And it auto feeds, and they love it. Parts you need to get this done. You need at least 4 feet of regular PVC drain pipe. The thin stuff, not the Schedule 40, but the thin stuff. You don't need to spend the money on Schedule 40 for a chicken feeder, okay? You need at least 4 feet of that. This stuff comes in 10-foot sections at Lowe's. Obviously, you want the kind without the holes in it. 2 of the PVC caps that go with it. Once again, 4-inch PVC caps. You can double check and make sure it fits while you're at the store. You need 1 4-inch Y. That's 4 inches for all the fittings, a Y. Now, be careful on the Y you get. This Y has straight fittings going each way. They also make a Y that has a curved fitting that comes out this way. You don't want that. It's hard for the chickens to get to, and the food comes out way too fast. You'll need some large zip ties. I use these 24-inch. These are 24-inch cable ties. They're the big heavy-duty ones. It comes in a package of 15. You only need 2 each. You can use whatever you want, though. You can use baling wire. You can use shroud line. I find these zip ties to be easy. They're fast, and they seem to last forever. Clear PVC cement. I guess it doesn't matter if it's clear or not. You just need some medium PVC cement. You don't need to worry about primer and all that other crap. Remember, this is just a chicken feeder. Tape measure. You need a hacksaw or anything else you can easily cut some of this thin PVC with. Okay, so I've got the PVC pipe marked. You're going to cut one piece at 41 inches. And you're going to cut another piece at 5 inches. Okay, so I'm just doing this, as you can see, on the bed of my pickup truck. It's pretty quick place to do it here. Like I said, I just use a regular hacksaw to cut this drain pipe. It's super easy to get it started. There's our 41. And you know, if you get a little off track, just remember, it's just a chicken feeder, okay? It means your chicken might have a little more or a little less food. There's our 5-inch piece. So you'll notice when you cut PVC, like with a hacksaw, it's got some burrs on it. This stuff will literally just, it'll just come off with your hands for the most part. See that? It's all gone. To the inside, comes right off with your hands. Same thing for the other side. And you can see I kind of screwed the cut up on there. Doesn't matter. It's a chicken feeder. Just get all the burrs off. That way your pipes will slide together easier. If you want to take the edge of a pocket knife, you know, like take this and just kind of scrape the inside, that's fine too. Piece is cut and ready to go. It's time to assemble it. I'm making 2 feeders today, so I've got pieces here for to get two feeders put together and get them up because we're getting ready to go on vacation. Okay, the first 2 pieces we'll be assembling are the short piece and one of these bottom caps, okay? So get your cap up there, get your cement out. It should come out. It's got like a ball, like a sponge ball on the end of it, okay? Just bring that out and just take that and run that around the inside of your cap, okay? Put it back in and quickly take your short piece, slide it inside that cap. Move it a little bit on the way in. It's already in there. This dries really fast, okay? Really fast. So you want to work kind of quick. So it's in place. Now what that is that's the bottom of the feeder, and that joint right there, this short piece. You can make it as short as you want. This is just the bottom of your feeder. So with this piece here, the Y is going to sit down right on top of that and slide in. Now you can make this piece shorter, this 5-inch piece. You can make it 3 inches, probably be good, 3.5. All it does, the shorter it is, the better, because it alleviates how much waste grain you have, because your chicken is not going to stick their neck all the way down this thing and get to the bottom, okay? You will have some grain sitting kind of in the bottom. And it also allows a place, if some water gets in here, to just go down into the bottom and not keep affecting the rest of the grain that flows out, okay? So the next I'll put some cement on the bottom of this Y. Make sure the Y is facing up as well, because once you put this together, it's hard to get it apart. So right there, I'm going to get some cement here, get this bad boy back out. Get the cement in the back, the inside of that Y, and get that put together right away with this piece. There you go. And it's together, okay? Already together. Set that aside. Next, we'll join up one of the 41-inch pieces with this block. Okay, so right here, got this bad boy. And again, I usually put the PVC on the cup section, the female. The other part's going to insert into. Get that in there real quick. Get this together. There you have that. So that is essentially your feeder, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to get this down. Once it's down on the run, wherever you want it, cut a hole in the side of your run fence, get this inside there. You want this lip, I've noticed, for full-size chickens to be about 13 inches off the ground. So figure that out going into your run fence. Cut a square hole in your run fence with your fencing pliers. Pop that inside up against your run fence, and then zip tie that in place. So you can see right here, once you have that all in place and you get your grain put in there, you take this cap, do not cement this in place, and just pop it on. That keeps the rain out. And then when you go to feed your birds, obviously, take the cap off. These will wear in a little better. Once you clean them up a little bit more, they'll come off easy. Just pour your stuff in, put it back out. Now I'll show you in the next segment of this video how you can control the feed coming out of this Y. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 extra little tips here on these feeders to make them work even better, and especially if you've got your feeder out where it gets rained on. So the first tip, to keep the food from coming out too much. So this is one of my assembled feeders just standing up in the bed of my pickup truck. To keep the food coming out too much, I'm going to come down straight to the level of the feeder. Now you can see where the lip of the feeder is right here, where the food comes up to, and you can see the distance between that and where the food was actually exposed right there in the main tube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the rest of the pipe I've got left over, and I'm going to cut about a 2-inch piece like this. And it's doesn't need to be a whole round piece. You could actually make 2 of them out of just one 2-inch piece. So what you can do is you're going to cut a 2-inch piece about a half moon, and I'm going to cement it right inside here, okay? Right inside here. So what it does is it brings that edge down so you don't see so much of this gap in here that goes back to the feeder tube. This is something I discovered just having these feeders and using them, that they seem to flow quite a bit, and the leghorns especially like to rake the food out. I have no idea why. So what you're doing is you're essentially lowering this surface back here, and I'll show you a picture what it looks like after I'm done. But you're just going to put some cement on a piece of that drain tile you made these big tubes with, and just slide it in place right there. It's already round, it'll fit right in there, and it'll literally just block that off a little bit so the food has to go down further before it comes up, and that's all you do. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to take a piece of that drain tile, and I'm going to make an extension on this, because these 2 feeders will be out exposed to the rain basically. And what I'm going to do is make a rain hood. You take a half section of that drain tile, and I'll show you what it looks like, and we're going to glue that to the top right here, so it slides right down. It's going to wrap just halfway like this, and it's going to come out just a bit so it keeps the rain from getting down into this. Okay, so for my little feed meter or feed governor that I talked about to keep the food from coming out too fast, I just cut two. Basically, I took the pipe, I cut 2 inches off it, and I cut this piece in half, okay? So I've got two of these because I've got 2 feeders, but you need 2 inches and a half a pipe, okay? And all you do is you'll put some cement on the inside surface in there, and you see where this flange is. You're just gonna put this in here. I have not put the cement in yet, I just wanna show you how it goes. And you slide it down in there flush, right there flush, okay? That's all it is. You're just pushing that down a little bit further. Now you notice when you look down, you look straight back, it really seals up the amount of, it brings the level of food down with this opening so it doesn't just flow out so fast. And it's going to keep them, they've got to reach in to get it, because if you allow it to flow out and sit right here, okay, that's going to allow the food to come down to here, right? If you allow it to sit right here, those birds will rake it all out, and before you know it, you're going to have food all over the run on the ground, all around your feeder, because they get bored and they start flinging food. So I'm going to go ahead and cement this piece in place in both my feeders. Okay, so if you want to make a rain guard for yours, if your feeders will be kind of out in the rain and your run isn't covered, then you just take 6 inches of the leftovers you had over there next to my coffee cup. Okay, you got your leftovers there. You take 6 inches of that, cut it in half, and you can literally take that and cement it right on top. Put your stuff in place, push that thing down, it'll spread out, and there you go. There you have it. That is a nice rain guard. It extends out over the edge, and that will keep your feed dry even when it's raining, okay? So anyway, that's how it's going to look. When you're finished, it'll cement right in place. It'll dry quickly. You got your feed meter in there. You can't even tell that feed meter's in there unless you look over there and you can see that extra edge of, see that extra material I've got down in there. That's what that feed meter does. It gets that feed level there, okay, instead of being up here so it doesn't spill out so much. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cement my 2 rain guards I just made on my 2 feeders, and I'm going to start installing these things. So both these rain hoods are installed. You see how it looks there. Just literally half a piece of pipe cemented right there. Cements really fast. So you can see when it's standing up there and it starts to rain that it'll shield much of that opening from the rain. There's a lot of different things you could do. You could probably take a hair dryer. PVC bends really easy when it's warm. You could probably take a hair dryer and bend it over some if you wanted to. You could probably find some sort of other thing, but this is how I'm doing it, and I think it'll work just fine, especially if you have the back or this side of the feeder facing the prevailing wind in your area, which is normally most, northwest or north in most places. Next, we'll get these things installed. All right, so we're out here at the chicken run, and I've already made my measurements because I want that, like I told you want this bottom edge be about 13 inches off the ground, okay? So I've done my measurements, and I'm going to cut out this section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those pieces of wire out, and that's going to give me a good spot to get my feeder in there. Just cutting that section out. So I'm going to have my feeder go through, like I said. So there you got a nice square hole. Take that feeder, bring it up inside, and now you've got it on the fence there. Okay, this goes up against the fence. And the reason this is good is because it allows you to feed your birds from outside the run if you need to, and having several of these allows you to get out of town if you need to. So in place, that's basically how it's going to look. I've got it through the fence, and I'm just going to make sure the height is correct. Then I'm going to go down here, I'm going to grab these big zip ties, and I'm going to take 2 zip ties and zip tie that in place. One preferably goes around underneath one of those ridges to keep it from sliding back down. But generally, when you have the hole cut there, that Y keeps it in place, okay? So just zip tie that bad boy in place. Pardon that rooster. So you've got that, the lower lip of that Y at about 13 inches. Chickens seem to like that height. Okay, there's the finished product. I haven't put any food in it yet, but I'm going to put some food in it here in a minute and see if I can get one of these birds. Look at that leghorn. She's already looking to see what's going on in there. Anyway, couple pro tips here really quick. You cut off these zip ties, try to cut them off as flat as possible against the lock here. There's always going to be kind of a sharp piece, these things will scratch the living crap out of you. So take a little file, take a pocket knife, and just trim that off so it's not sticking out. And then second pro tip is, at the top, I've got a piece of wood stuck in here to kind of give it a little bit of gap between the fence and the actual cap right there. Because if you tighten it down and that cap is up against the fence, it won't easily come off. Okay, you want this to easily come off so you can go on and off, piece of cake, not having to fight with it. You want these things to be easy as possible. And the last thing is, as far as the plans go, you can modify this as much as you want to. These things are sitting at about, let me get the tape measure here. These things are sitting at 55 inches off the ground, okay? To me, that's a comfortable height to pick up a feed bag and dump in there. My wife, when the feed bag is full, she'll take a scooper and fill them. I usually just go around with a feed bag. But anyway, modify it as you need to. If you want to stand on a step ladder, you want to make this thing 10 feet tall and have it last a week, then so be it. We've got 25 chickens, and I'm going to have a total of 4 of these in place. We generally keep them full. This one's getting ready to be installed over here. I'll put it on that fence post. But generally, if we have 4 of these going, that will probably be almost 2 bags of food that are sitting here feeding. So when we go away for a 5-day thing for spring break, these girls and boys will have plenty of water. We've got 16 gallons of water between 3 waterers, and we've got 4 of these feed tubes. And I still have people come check on the birds and get eggs, but bottom line is, have it set up so your birds can be basically self-sufficient, so you can get away now and then. You know, have people checking on me. I've got a security camera over there that we watch our chickens wherever we are, but bottom line is, you have to be able to get away, and one of the ways you can get away is make these feeders. Hey, I appreciate you all watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends, and as always, keep getting after it.